which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lusts and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So far the scripture. I want to talk to you from these three verses, 4 verses, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And looking at 15, when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And when it is finished, it bringeth forth death. I want to talk to you today from this subject, when lust gets pregnant.
My God. Got put on your sneakers.
Look at somebody, tell them, did you hear? Lust got pregnant.
Lust got pregnant. My God.
When lust gets pregnant, you may be seated in the presence of God. When lust gets pregnant, this text, this scripture that I've asked you to go to is something that has become foreign to the church. It has become so foreign to the church. When you begin to talk about sin and lust and temptation, it makes people uncomfortable. It makes you a little leery, a little nervous when we start talking about temptation. We start talking about lust. It just sounds like a nasty word. You say it, you draw that U, lust, and you lay on that ST, lust. You can't even say it quick. Try to say it quick, lust. You can't say it. You see that? It's like one of them 3-5 second words, like, lust. Like, oh my God, I can't. Even your tongue wants to cleave to it. It is here in the book of James where we encounter this text. It is in this book where we are told how to endure temptation. It is in this text, it is in this book, we are told how to keep yourself. It is in this text, it's in this book where we are admonished to keep yourself away from that is unholy. The book of James, the apostle James. And I think it is absolutely amazing that we would be reading from this book. I think it's amazing that James actually wrote a book. And truth be told, history says that this was the first book written in the New Testament, the book of James. Why is that so amazing? Because it's a book that is written by James, the brother of Jesus. His brother writes a book. James writes a book. He writes a letter. He's writing a text to alert the church about some things that are going on. So you got James. This is not the same James, Peter, James, and John. Jesus had 12 disciples. 2 of them were named James. But this is not that James. This is another James. This is the James who is the brother of Jesus. Now, what caught my attention is, why is Jesus on the cross and he tells John, son, behold your mother. Mother, behold your son. Where's James? He gave his mama over to John. Told John, look after my mama. But we had no mention about James. Where is James? And then it's dawned on me, if you read the text, the scriptures, that James wasn't even a believer. So I can't leave my mama to somebody who don't believe in my mission. I can't leave someone who has raised me, who I am connected with, to someone who he didn't even understand who I was. James was not a believer. But he writes the first book in the New Testament. Isn't it amazing how God can turn your life all the way around? Isn't it amazing how people look at you in the beginning and then look at you in the end and can't recognize you, how you have changed? Because some of us would have written James off. He's not a believer. He's not a follower of Christ. Yet he writes one of the most important books in the Bible. James was important, y'all. Amen. He was important. One of the first people who Jesus encounters after his resurrection was James. You would have thought when he got up, he went to them that supported him. He went to them who understood him wrong. He went to them that were not believers. He went to his brother. And folks are absolutely unsettled because your family don't support your salvation. How are you mad that your family don't support you? My family always making fun of my salvation. So what? James didn't even believe in his own brother. My family make fun of me every Thanksgiving, say the prayer, they start giggling. Well, then pray the house down. Pray that God will save every last one of them. As you pray for the turkey, pray for that turkey sitting on the left. As you pray for the meatballs and the mac, pray that your family would get saved. James wasn't even saved. But Paul calls him a pillar of the church. Paul calls him a pillar. What is a pillar? A pillar is that long pole right there. That long pole that sits in the middle of this building. What does it do? It helps the building not to fall down. So James is like that pillar. If you move James, the church crumbles. Wasn't even a believer. But if you remove him, it affects the church. And you got people in church who are pillars, and you got some who are scaffolds. We bring the scaffold in to do the work. We bring the pillar in so when the scaffold moves, the church don't fall. And the problem is when scaffolds think they're pillars. That becomes one of the issues of the church. If I leave, the church is going to be, no, it won't. If you think you are that important to the church, you are absolutely wrong. If I leave, then the church is going to fail. God has never given you that kind of authority or power. And the issue, you got people who thinking, if I don't sing, the anointing ain't going to come. It's as if you are the only conduit to get the anointing in the house. And half the time, it's not the anointing, it's emotions. That's right. And when scaffolds start thinking they are pillars, you have a mess. Because we can't have church with a bunch of scaffolds hanging around holding up the building. Amen. You are here to help us paint. Wow. You are here to help us throw sheetrock up. You are here to help build. But we are supposed to move from being a scaffold to being a pillar. Yeah. Not that if I don't come, they're going to fall. But I'm here to hold up whatever I need to hold up. So James moves from being an unbeliever to a believer. He moves from being not just a half brother of Jesus, but to becoming an apostle of Christ. He is one of the first people Saul encounters after his conversion. That's how important he is. That God will pick James in the direction of Saul after he was converted. When Peter was rescued from prison, y'all. You remember that text? Peter is in prison. When as he's arrested, he says, "Go tell James where I'm at." When you're in trouble, you don't want to tell just anybody. If I get in trouble, don't just tell. There's a few people I'll let Pastor Quan know who to call. If I get arrested, I don't need you calling all these other folks. I need you to call him, hard him. Someone who can help me get out of a sticky situation. That's why I come to church. That's why I'm here Sundays and Wednesdays and doing prayer. Because when trouble comes, I know exactly who to call. He was the pastor of the church in Jerusalem, the official headquarters of the New Testament. James becomes the pastor of this church. An unbelieving half-brother of Jesus is now pastoring the church in Jerusalem, y'all. Do you see the growth that James makes? He goes from one level to another level to another level to another level. And one of the frustrating things in church is watching people go from one level to no level. We stay at one level for 10 years. We have not increased prayer. We have not increased fasting. We have not increased consecration. We are at the same level we were at since 284. Same level. We were late coming to church 5 years ago. We still late coming to church. Same level. We have not fallen in love with God. Because you're supposed to keep falling in love with God. I keep falling in love with you. I keep falling in love with you because you are absolutely amazing. So every year I fall in love with you another level and another level. And God begins to reveal himself to you in different avenues and different facets. And the more he reveals himself, the more you will love him. Like, God, I didn't know you could do that. I can do better than that. God, I didn't know you could heal me. I can heal anything. God, I didn't know you could supply. God is absolutely amazing. And he starts doing things and you start falling in love over and over again. And James has gone from ground zero all the way to the top. He's pastoring the local church in Jerusalem. And that is our goal, to go from one level all the way to the top. I'm trying to get to the top. I'm trying to get to another level. Have you just ever got tired of being at the same place? You never got tired of just being at the same place? I'm in the same place I was 5 years ago. I'm tired of the same place, doing the same thing, hanging out with the same people, eating the same foods, wearing the same clothes. No. There has to be something more to this. Salvation is more than coming to church on Sunday, dancing and leaving. That is more. There is a whole lot more to salvation than this 2 hours we have on Sunday. And them that jump in and get something out of it are those that grow. If you only come just to have a good time, you will never grow. If you only come to shout, you will never. The only thing you've developed is your dance. That's the only thing you've developed. Child, you should see my dance now. You should see how I pick him up and put him down. Child, you should see. I done mastered the tambourine. So you're an excellent dancer. I can go to Alvin Ailey School and find 20 that dance way better than you.
Absolutely.
That does not make you saved because you got a good dance. I'm trying to go to a level where, well, if I lay hands on you, the fever stops. If you come in here with an issue and I touch your hand, you forget about that thing. I got so much power, I can walk by you in the spirit of peace. That's the kind of power I want. To look in your eyes and say, you know what, something wrong. Come here, let me have a talk with you. Let me lay hands on you. The Lord gave me a word just for you. That's the power that I want. But you can't get that kind of power if you are not committed. Is James. And he says, in the second verse, he says, my brethren. He's talking to the church. He says, check this out, brethren. He says, I need you. I know y'all going through a lot. Because being saved, you always going to go through something. You ain't got time to tell it all. But we all are going through something. And for you to sit here and act like, oh, you the only one going through, it is an insult to my salvation, because I'm saved just like you, and I'm trying to get as much as God as I can, and I'm fighting demons and goblins and witches and warlocks. You're not the only one going through hell. Now we got a crowd around you and make a circle and do all these chants and you leave and still go home depressed? Absolutely not. Weeping may endure for a night. You got one night to cry, but get over it. Give you one night. Can't get a month. We're trying to go somewhere. We're trying to grow a ministry. We're trying to grow a church. But the camp got to stop until you get healed. Yes. So now we stop in the camp because you don't want to come out your depression. Because I found out some folks like to be sick. Some folks enjoy the attention. So if I can't get attention by doing this, I'll fake sickness. I'll fake a pregnancy. I'll fake a good fallout. Get up. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, get up. Leave them. Trust me. Trust me. Take them out to that lobby. I bet you they get up. Ain't no heat out there. Absolutely not. Leave them right there. Take the offering. Have the benediction. Put a sheet over them. I guarantee you they'll come out that sucker. Some folks like the attention that sickness brings. Absolutely. I don't need an IV I need attention that bad. Well, I got to go to the ER. Absolutely not. I gotta post 20 things a day to get attention. No, it's attention whores. That's the part. You're just soliciting attention. God, I need attention. God, here, what you want? I just want to get a big box of Christmas and give it to somebody and say, here's your gift. And they open it up as a sign of attention. Hey, that's what you want, right? Ain't that what you want? They open it up. What's inside? A big old flag. Attention. Wear that. We're giving you what you want. Attention. Here you go. Attention. And instead of the church growing, we're stopping the camp because folks don't want to come out. Now, all of us going through hell, but I'm trying to get out of mine. I don't like being under pressure. I don't like being under certain types of feelings. I just don't like it. I understand that all must go through, but why do you want to sit in it? Lay in it. Just lay, wallowing in your self-pity. Woe is me.
Right.
Nobody love me. Nobody like me. No, we don't like you. We don't like that dumb stuff. Absolutely not. Get up. Too old for this. We're too old. Adults, we got the body of an adult, but the mind of a child. Just a mind of a child. And it's hard to speak adult language to a kid. It's hard for me to speak 7, 8, 9 letter words and all you understand is cat, bat, hat. We gotta speak to you. Come on, booby. Come on. You want your baba? You want your bobo? You want what you want your? I mean, just stick a pacifier in there. Absolutely not. The church should not be pacifying grown people. Our job is to pull a pacifier out of your mouth and say, no, you're not getting a bobo no more. Cry all night. We don't care. Mama says it's going to make your lungs stronger anyway. Let them cry. I don't want to hear my baby cry. Why not? No, you got to teach them when they're young. You can't have this. Teach them. No. That's why the world going crazy now. All the sexual harassment. Because some of these men have never been told no. So they're going to take what they want. Absolutely not. You got to teach your daughter how to say no and teach your son how to hear no. I don't care if you're in the middle of it. I don't care if you're about to see stars, your toes about to curl, and somebody say no, shut the shop down. No, baby, I got 5 more seconds. 5 more. Oh, no, shut it down. I done bought her a steak. That's your problem. You got to understand what no means. And that's why we're going through this hell now. That's why multi-millionaires and billionaires are losing their companies. You done built 20, 30 years, built an empire, and it took 3 women to take you down. They're shaking in their boots now. I hope they don't tell on me. Everybody castigated Bill Cosby. Everybody quiet now. Go home talking about why you know what is happening. So what's the problem? That the church has become so petty. The church has become this daycare center. The church has become a place of pacification. We gotta pacify you. We gotta give you what you want. We can't tell you no, stop, don't, or wait, or you gonna start crying. Who cares? They didn't care when they made me cry. But it grew me to another level. It helped me to go to another level. And I still came to church on my post, doing whatever I had to do. Even if you offended me, I kept my mouth shut. They told David, they said, David, Saul is in the cave. Go in there and kill him. David said, I cannot touch the Lord's anointed. Absolutely not. And we got just this dumb stuff, y'all. I mean, the church has never been in this much trouble. So a video of a prophet, y'all. And they said this wasn't even a cussing prophet. This was another prophet. They said, could walk on air. They said he could walk on air. And they had the video. And you saw the prophet, he was coming down the stairs. I said, I got to see this. I got to see this terms. The prophet walking on air. I know God is good, but let me see this. And then he walking down the stairs. Yeah, Claude, he was walking. I said, okay, let me see this. God, I know you. If you could do it, God, you go. And all of a sudden, the camera zooms in. And you saw his feet dangling. And shadows on the side. And he drop. And you hear doors, bang, bang, bang. And he come like this. He just walked on air. The dumb stuff. And we are that we are doing to entertain continue to prove that we got power, and there are people who are gullible, who are jumping into it. Oh my God, the prophet walked on it. You're a liar. No, pull the camera back and let me see you without all the strings and the people holding you up. It is absolutely crazy where we're going. Walking on air. And James says this is the problem, because people are facing such hardships that they'll believe anything. People are going through all kinds of hell that you would believe almost anything. You would cleave to anybody you think who has a connection with God. But here lies the problem. We done shut the door to the New Testament, the Old Testament, into the New, and God has given you access to Him. And why don't you take advantage of the access? Amen. And James has to tell the church in the second verse. He says, brethren, church. He says, do your math. Do your math. What do you mean he says do your math? He says do your math. He says count it all joy. He says do your math. I know you're good in English and history. I know you're good in science and biology and trigonometry, and you can do all that stuff. You can balance equations. You can do all kinds of stuff. He said, but do you know your math? What do you mean math? He says count it all joy. Okay? When you fall, okay, now we got a problem here. Because you just said get happy when I fall. Why would I get happy when I fall? He says, count it all joy when you fall into various temptations. Oh, yeah, you got quiet. He says, get happy when you get tempted. Oh, that sounds like an oxymoron. That sounds like, why would you tell me to get happy when I'm tempted? Why would you tell me to get excited when I'm tempted? Why would you tell me to post that on Facebook? I just got tempted. You know somebody post that. Right. Hashtag tempted. You gonna pick that up. Hashtag I fell into different temptations. He says, but get happy when you are tempted. The term tempted, it's testing. When you fall into a trial, get happy. When you fall into this strong desire to do what I shouldn't do. Amen. That's temptation. Yes. It's a strong desire to do something I ain't got no business doing. That's right. That is. And he says, get happy about that. Wow. Get happy when there's something that I don't want to do, but I feel myself wanting to do it. He says, that's when you get happy. Because everybody is going to go through a trial, a tempting, have a strong desire to fall into something and commit something or do something. And he says, when this happens, that's when you shout. Amen. We're shouting after we come out of it. He says, no, shout when you're going in it. Shout when he calls you. You know, your old man, your old girlfriend. He says, when they friend you on social media, get happy. Why would I get happy if my past is trying to sneak up to my present? He says, get happy. You're tempted. It is let me tell you what it is. It's a desire, y'all, to engage in short-term urges. Yes. That's what temptation is. A desire to engage in short-term urges that threaten long-term goals. That's good. That's good. That's That's temptation. It's my desire to engage in a short term. You know it's going to be short. You know it ain't going to last that long. But it threatens long-term goals. It's threatening my goal. And you can't forsake long-term goals for short-term pleasure. That's why we fast. That's why we cover our mouth. It's teaching us how to look at a piece of bread and say, absolutely not. It's teaching us to wake up. Ain't nothing like Wednesday morning wake up.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
You wake up every day. You don't eat till 3, 4 o'clock. When you wake up on Wednesday, oh my God, I'm hungry. I got crayons. I got all this food in the fridge. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm going to make it. It ain't but 8:45. Why are you doing this, Lord? Get up Thursday. I'm good. I don't want to eat nothing. I'm just good. I'm going to go downtown, handle my bed. I might pick something up later. Here it is, 6 p.m. You call it home. Take that chicken out the fridge. But Wednesday, you just, oh my God. And the enemy is presenting. You know you want that pizza. You know you want that burger. Can't you smell it? Don't it smell good? Don't it look good? You know that it's a piece of fruit. It ain't gonna harm you. Ask Adam and Eve what that piece of fruit did. So it's a short urge. It's short. It's short. And don't give in to that short thing when God has something large that's waiting for you. And now you got to stop the camp.
Right.
Until you get healed. Until you get over it. So he says you get happy when these things happen. Why would I get happy? Why would I get happy when that happens? Because temptations are used by God. They're used by God. What does God do with temptation? He does it. He allows that to happen to prove and excite the faith.
Amen. Amen.
That's why you're tempted. He wants you to prove and excite the faith. Because if you can get through this and other people see it, it excites the faith that exists in others. If you held on, my God, I know I can hold on. If you didn't fall in, tell me how you made it. Tell me how you held on to the horns of the altar and the front and the back. And if you did it, I know I can do it. God is trying to prove you and also excite the entire church that not everybody is falling for the enemy.
Come on.
He's exciting the church. He's exciting those that are weak. He's exciting the single mama as she looks at all the single women in the church and their kids are going to college and their kids are graduating and she looks at hers and says, if she raised 3 by herself, I can raise these 4 by mine. It proves the church and it would excite your faith that my God, how did you do it? God, hold on to God's hand and I'm telling you, if he did it for me, he can do it for you. You're trying to tell me I can't raise no child without a man? No. That ain't what I'm saying. No, but if he happens to leave, God steps right in and says, I got this. If you give me your faith, I'll give you everything you need. I just want your faith. Nothing moves God like faith. Nothing more. You can be in here dancing up a sweat. Gotta put deodorant on after you're done. Your powder done dried up. Your makeup done fell off. And walk out of here and still depressed. God is not impressed with that. God would rather you sit here and be still and leave it to I believe God. I know God gonna make a way. I don't know how he gonna do it, but I know my God gonna make a way. You start writing it down. You write not going to make a way. Remember you got in trouble in school and they said, right, I will not be bad 100 times. You got to go home. I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. They made you write it so you will believe it. Anybody want any bad kids here? You was bad and you had to go to the board and write, I will not cheat on my test. I will not chew gum in school. And your mama looked in your book and you tore that page out. Why is the page missing? I don't know, it just fell out. That's what that 100 times, I will not talk back. I will not talk back. I dare some of y'all to go home tonight and write, I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. God gonna make a way. God gonna do it. Write 100 times. I dare you to post that. I'm not on punishment. I'm writing it till it get in my spirit. I believe him. I dare you to write it. I dare you get a chalkboard in your house, put it on the wall, and every now and then when the enemy comes in, you start writing. I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. I believe God. I put myself on punishment until I believe him. He says, count it joy. Do your math. Count it up. Count it as joy. Why am I counting this as joy, James? He says, notice that the trying of your faith, the trial of your faith does what? Worketh patience. Yeah, the trying of your faith worketh patience. It worketh patience. It helps you. It builds your character. It builds your stamina. It helps you to know that if he don't do it today, he gonna do it tomorrow. If he don't do it tomorrow, I guess he gonna do it on Wednesday. He ain't doing it on Wednesday, he got to do it on Thursday. And when you got that kind of attitude, you don't wake up mad. You say, well, God, you must gonna do it today. And when 11:59 come, well, he must gonna do it tomorrow. And tomorrow come, well, he must gonna do it on Friday. And folks think you crazy. And God says, they believe me so much, I just might as well give it to them. It produces patience.
It does.
Produces patience. They kept calling us, and the plane got canceled, and the flight got canceled. And I said, what you want me to do? Can't do nothing. He said, you just gotta sit there and wait. Because I dare you to act a fool on that plane. I dare you to start screaming. We're going to see you on the 5 o'clock news. You got to sit there. You got to wait. They getting on your nerves. They canceling your flight. You in the airport for 24 hours. But it's going to produce a faith in you. It's going to help you for the next trip. It produces. It works your patience. It works your patience. And what the church lacks today is patience. It lacks. We have perfected shouting.
Yes, we have.
Now, God, we got some best shouters. We have perfected singing. Yes, we did. Because half of the folks out there singing R&B in the world, they snatched them out of the church. These folks started in church, 6 years old, 7 years old. They start singing like we got them singing downstairs. These little kids started at 7 years old. All of a sudden they found them at 18, singing in the mall.